Hi guys, welcome to PG6's channel. This is going to be a new thing. I'm going to try to start doing some vlogs every now and then. And this one is going to be sort of a combo thing. I want to talk about the AK shit that's going on. I'm sure if you guys are watching my channel, you're more than aware of the fact that there's AK shit going on. At first, I just shot in my neighborhood. I didn't know what else to do, and I'd moved and I'd shown my neighborhood in the past, so it's kind of shittier than the last one. Anyway, the whole fucking Romanian import thing that's going on. Basically, my understanding is that Romania is now exclusively doing military contracts for like the next year or so, and they will not be exporting any civilian AKs. This means no Wassers, this means no Dracos, or any of the like. Kind of sucks. I mean, those were the cheap AKs really on the market. You might say like the Zastava stuff, but that stuff has been kind of drying up slowly too. And my understanding is that it's not just the Romanians saying this. It's actually the Serbs, the Yugoslavians, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, and the Polish all saying that they're making military guns. And that doesn't bode well, in my opinion. It may be a long time before we see new AK imports. And I would tell you, if you want an arsenal, like a Bulgarian arsenal, or if you want a fucking Romy Wasser 10, or whatever it is you want one of the Polish guns. I think IO is selling those. They're pieces of shit, but if you want one of those too, if you want, or Zastava, you should go buy one now. Right now, the prices are as cheap as they're going to be, I think, for the foreseeable future. And with this stuff hitting with this news hitting the market, I don't see it going anywhere but up. I could be wrong, but I think in the near future, Arsenal is probably going to have to be making their own AKs or figuring out somewhere else to get AKs from. I think Century Arms is probably just going to shut down on the import shit and start selling their own guns because they're making them now. And I think they've known about this for a long time. Because Century Arms is spending a lot of money trying to whitewash their image first off, and trying to convince people that a $700 or $800 US made AK was worth buying. I think that they probably are going to succeed at that, or have succeeded at that so far. So I don't know, but just I think the fact that we're just hearing about this now, and with everything else that I've been seeing going on over the last year, I think they've known about this for a while. I think they tend to know about things before us, usually. Like the whole 7N6 thing, they knew about that long before us too. And the other thing, move you guys. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry, I had to change locations and I decided to go for a drive, basically. I think I'm going to just do these in the car, probably. Anyway, we were talking about AKs and the fact that they had known about it for a long time, basically, and at least more than likely, I would think. And if they are going to be cut off for a while, probably a long while, you should probably get your ducks in a row when it comes to AKs here pretty soon, especially if you want an import. I think even the DDI guns and the Century guns are going to be affected by this. DDI is putting together parts kits. Century's building their own guns from the ground up. But if the AK market as a whole takes a big hit, like no more imports, they're going to have to raise their prices too. And the reason they're going to have to is supply and demand. They aren't going to be able to make enough guns to keep their prices where they are. At least that's my opinion. And even if they could, with the supply being less overall, they're going to want to make more money, and they're going to raise prices. Just my 2 cents. I might be totally off base about that. But especially if Arsenal really isn't getting any new Bulgarian guns either, which has been a rumor for a while now. That could be real bad. Because those Arsenal Bulgarian guns are pretty much my favorites at the moment. I'm hoping maybe DDI gets its shit together and starts making Russian-style side-folding guns with the 74-style brake. I know they're working on the 74-style brake soon, so that should be pretty cool. Either way, the other thing I was going to talk about in this is I've been thinking about buying a Mini 30. I just put out a Mini 14 review update, mainly because I'd been looking at the comments section of the one I'd made before, and just decided I was a little unfair on it. I pretty much made that to piss people off, and I succeeded. Anyway, the reason I'm considering getting a Mini 30 is because I got a folding stock and a bunch of mags for free. I inherited them from my grandfather. And they aren't all Ruger mags. They're all the, like, gun show mags and shit. But at least a few of them look to be good. So, I don't know. I might have, like, 6 or 7 free Mini 30 mags that are kind of hard to come by. And a folding stock. There's like $200 worth of stuff. So, I don't know. I might get a Mini 30 Tactical. And if I do get one, there's going to be a side-by-side review between it and the AR and the AK for accuracy and reliability in particular, because I got crap all the time about saying Mini 14s aren't reliable or accurate. That was my experience with the old skinny barreled ones. I still don't really like them that much. But I think the Mini 14 and Mini 30 Tacticals actually look kind of cool, so I'm probably going to be doing that. It's actually been a long time since I had a Mini, so that was really mine. I traded into a few over the years that I just, you know, resold, basically. What else? Oh, I'm thinking about doing some videos on World War II era guns and Vietnam era guns, and I really don't know how to do those. Would you guys rather see, you know, a video on every gun from those eras, or one big ass video on all of them? So that's kind of what I'm debating between like doing a video on Thompsons, and then a video on the M1 Garand, and then a video on the M1 Carbine, and then a video on the BAR, etc., etc. Or doing one altogether, probably hour-long fiasco, talking about the ins and outs of most of them. And then there's going to be the Vietnam era guns that I don't know if those are... I'm probably going to do the World War II guns first, so these will be in the future. But I actually am getting the receiver finally from Nodak Spud to finish my retro AR-15 build. And that means that I have representatives of most of the major guns from Vietnam on our side and theirs. So, and there's like nothing online about Vietnam era guns, and it's so disappointing to look around on YouTube. So if I do a series on Vietnam era guns, I'm probably going to do like a big hour-long thing, and then I'm going to break each gun out into its own video, just because there's nothing on them, and I would like people to find them. So, but which would you guys prefer to watch? That's a big question too. So I'm not going to put all the effort into an hour-long fiasco for the World War II guns if I don't have to. Another thing too is just in general, is there anything you'd like to see videos on? I mean, I just did a big collection update. I know some of you guys want to see a video on the SPAS 12. That's not going to happen for a while. I really want to play with that some more and have a more informed opinion before I do a video on that. I've only shot it a couple of times, and I don't know. It's a fucking awesome gun, and that's going to be the review of it, and anything I say on video about it is probably going to be that. But I would like to shoot it some more before I make a video that's going to be out there for years. That's what I realized the other day, is pretty much everything I'm putting up on YouTube doesn't get deleted, so basically posterity will always have my thoughts on guns. That's kind of interesting. At least to me. I mean, honestly, I don't know why some of you people watch my videos. I don't think they're very good. Every once in a while I have a good one, I think. Like, I thought that Mini 14 discussion video I put up the other day, it's not really a review, was actually a pretty fair and balanced look at buying a Mini 14. I'm still getting shit on that. I've already had haters from my other video show up in that video. And that's as unbiased of a review of a Mini 14 as I could give. Is basically just to sit there and not talk about it. Talk about how it compares to other guns. Which in reality is how every gun review should probably be. Some guns don't work, whatever. Most guns tend to work. Most guns tend to be accurate. I mean, unless we're going to talk about match grade guns, there's no real reason to talk about accuracy, in my opinion. You know, match grade guns are made to be accurate, but like any gun that shoots .223 is going to be somewhere between a quarter MOA and probably 3. Okay, maybe 4. It depends on exactly what it is. Unless it's like a really, really old Mini 14, then, you know, some of those skinny barreled things, maybe a little bit worse than that even, but that's not a huge variance. Even one MOA to 4 MOA. It's not that great a thing. So I don't know. And reliability wise, most guns tend to run at least okay. If they're being sold at this point in 2015, they work. Some of them, like newer guns, maybe not so much. But if your gun's not working, it's probably an issue with that particular gun and not the design. Yet again, unless it's something new, like I don't know, the Keltec downward ejecting bullpup. That's a pretty new design. I don't know. So, but even it, you know, before it leaves the factory, they're gonna work the kinks out of the design if they're smart. Yeah, you know. That's why I don't get some of the testing on YouTube, really. The Mini 14 thing, Mini 30 thing, I'm kind of just curious for my own information. But, you know, and the 10 billionth torture test of an AK doesn't tell anyone anything. At least in my opinion. There are some entertainment shit too, like, you know, I like the videos where they're like putting a Twinkie inside an AK and seeing if it'll run. It's amusing, but it's not really, you know, a torture test. That, and the other thing too is I've seen a lot of like we're gonna dunk it in NATO mud and see if it shoots tests. Well, most of those are absolute crap, I think. The only one I've ever seen that I liked was actually well, there's two. Forgotten Weapons did one where it was the predecessor to the FAL, actually, it's the FN49 versus the M1 Garand, or not M1 Garand, M1A, M14 versus an AK and an AR. They're kind of weird, so I don't know why they picked the FN49 instead of the FAL. But, whatever. Okay, I'll buy it. That one was informative and well done and realistic. Okay, the other one was a regular guy 90 did a thing with like an AR, an AK, and a Tavor. You should go watch that if you're going to buy a Tavor. That was pretty surprising. And yet again, it's mainly because they were like in real world conditions doing that, and not just like, we've got this bucket of perfectly, you know, sifted sand and blah blah blah, and I don't know, I think NATO spec mud is a ridiculous test. Maybe that's just because, you know, you had to come up with a specification for mud. You couldn't just go to a random pile of mud and try it. It's more real to me if they're like in situ or whatever. Anyway, this has been long and kind of rambly, so this is gonna be the vlog number 1. Tell me if you guys like this. My plan is to get a camera mount, and I'll do like a driving around type video and ramble to you about, well, stuff like this, video ideas, stuff that's going on right now, what I think of YouTube. I don't know, I have a lot of opinions on other people's shit that I don't ever talk about. This will be a place to do that, I guess. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one, and be sure to subscribe, like, and do all the rest of that shit. See you guys later.